live on your back. Let's go. I'm Corey, your host, one half of the Corner Full of Fat podcast, and I'm back like I never left with another installment of Money Mindset here on the Corner Full of Fat podcast. We discuss health and wealth, finance and fitness, and everything in between. We want to make sure you save more and save less and keep making better your best. Yes. However, my co-host Jordan went on paternity leave. We started these Money Mindsets originally Wealth Wednesdays, where we get straight to the financial information, no filler in between. And I know y'all see the topic of today's video. We're going to get into, in short, how much it costs to live in America and why the middle class is vanishing. $3.4 million they're talking about for the American dream. If you watched, not the last episode, no, it was the last episode with Robert Kiyosaki versus Dave Ramsey. I believe I went to MoneyWise first for an article, and I went to Yahoo Finance. Today I was like, let me just go to the Yahoo Finance article. However, then I see it says MoneyWise at the top. I don't know what's going on, but today we're going to go to, in theory, to a more reliable source with Yahoo Finance. But before we get started, y'all know what to do. Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Shout out to the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you leave those rating reviews on the podcast platforms as well. My information, as well as my co-host Jordan information, can be found in the description. Shout out to the algorithm. Shout out to y'all running up the numbers. Y'all doing it. I'm just going to keep saying what I'm saying. Again, continue to appreciate the feedback. Like I said, I'm going to look at the numbers and what, is continuing to hit an algorithm. It seems like y'all want to talk about how much people are struggling in America. So that's what we got another video on. All right. Y'all like the Ramsey versus Kiyosaki video as well, but they talk about personal finance, business finance, whatever you want to call it in short. So again, we got another article on that. Also as well, don't sue me, see your mama. This is for entertainment purposes only. Myself, nor Jordan, nor fitness finance professionals. Anything you hear is for entertainment purposes only. You need to do your own research and seek out professional before taking any action. All right. And again, monthly car payment, again, that's at the beginning of the month. Student loans, nothing on student loans yet. Even though I believe I found a student loan article, but like I said, y'all want to see about it. Y'all love the single and married couple as far as each state, how much it costs to live in. A lot of comments on that type of stuff. A lot of comments on the Robert Kiyosaki versus Dave Ramsey stuff. So again, I'm just trying to give y'all what y'all is asking for. All right, but let's get started. Let's get into it. 3.4 million. That just says 3.4. Let me update that. Damn it, I deleted it. Hey, doing it live. Recipes, Kevin Samuels. Do it while you fly it. I don't know if he made that quote, but he's first to say it. Also, this time I'm not recording late. I'm recording early because it's 5 a.m. All right, here we go. Let me go ahead and share the screen. And this shouldn't be too long of an article anyways. Look at me I'm just so. This is why we have the edits for the smaller clips. Here we go. The American dream will now cost you a staggering $3.4 million. I found a more recent article. I think it came out last night, sometime yesterday, but it wasn't. The length of the article wasn't as long, so I just went with this original one. 3.4 million. New study says here's why that white picket fence may not be out of reach for most U.S. families. I said may now be out of reach for most U.S. families. Do you think that the white picket fence would cost less if it was a black picket fence? Nah, whatever. Anyway, this is by Bethine Moorcraft, December 21st, 2023. Here we go. The American dream will now cost you $3.4 million. American dream is fading away as soaring costs make common goals like home ownership, raising a family more difficult to attain. Yes, I mean, this is probably going to be the same as all the other articles. Again, always interested to see how I'm going to talk about debt impacting people. I've already said this before. I believe I said this on a previous episode or episodes, but the lack of people being willing to admit that their debt, their consumer debt, their non-mortgage debt. Some people, in case their mortgage is too much of their budget or their income, too high of a percentage, but excluding their mortgage, their inability to take accountability for that, their debt being the main reason that they're struggling financially. I see people mention everything else but their debt, which is one of your expenses. People just don't want to admit that if they just got out of their debt, they'd be doing better financially. Paid off my car. My wife was like, "It feels so much better not having debt." I'd be like, "Yeah, that's what we're trying to tell y'all." I mean, we're not lying, saying the mental aspect that comes along with not having debt is something that you can't give someone. You just have to not have any debt so you can experience for yourself. I mean, it's kind of that simple. New analysis by Investopedia, shout out to Investopedia, has revealed you need a whopping $3.4 million to cover the lifetime cost of American dream milestones like marriage, 2 kids, a house, cars, healthcare, and education. I wonder what age group this is for, though, because this doesn't include retirement. See, when it says cars there, what kind of cars people getting? I wonder how much, again, debt's going to be equating to this. Don't miss commercial real estate. Oh, okay, cool. All right. But most Americans fall short of that target, but over $1 million. By over $1 million. So people are usually getting around 2.4, 2.3 million. Average lifetime earnings across all education levels is more like 2.3 million. Sheesh. Leaving a big financial gap that is forcing people to reassess their financial goals. Let me look at that. It's in 2.3 million. If we divide that, let's say you work in, let's just say you're working what, 25 to 65, roughly. That's 40 years. I mean, I don't know what it is. $57,000 a year. Wow. But see, that's at current income. I guess I don't know how, if they just extrapolate that, multiply by 40. But if you're making $100,000, Jesus, across 40 years, right? That's gonna be four. Jesus, I can't do the math. That's gonna be 4 million, right? Yeah, so I mean, just get to your six figures, you'll be good to go. Anyways, here's a breakdown of some key costs that go into the so-called American dream based on national average. Yes, big purchases, having kids, buying a house, cars, student loans, as far as avoiding student loans, saving for college, things of that nature, medical expenses. But see, those aren't surprises. The one of the biggest costs you bear in your quest for American dream, right? Home ownership, usually your largest single purchase at a time. Investopedia says buying a home will set you back around $800K, almost $1 million in your lifetime, based on Zillow's average home price estimate of $346,000 in September of 2023. 10% down payment on a 30-year fixed mortgage at 7.2%. Recommend 10% down is good for your first home, but 15-year fix and the mortgage rate kind of is what it is. But again, a lot of people, if they did the 15-year fix and they would put more down, they'd be getting smaller mortgages that could better fit in their budget. And then on top of that, they would, because people, it's not like people are getting a 30-year mortgage and then getting a payment that's in the 25% range. Don't go over the 25% range, or excuse me, the 25% cap as far as how much it is of your monthly income. And then on top of that, you'll be likely getting, not like end up getting a smaller house because you're on a 15-year, and then you'll be getting a house that is more in your affordability range as far as the maintenance. Again, the maintenance is what destroys people. Yes, the housing market's going crazy, but over the long term, as things in theory should stabilize, you not doing that maintenance is going to come back and bite you when it's time to sell your house and short. So you might not be doing all these upgrades. You might be seeing a house, right? I mean, you can see it on Zillow, Redfin, whatever it is, where you can see two houses on the same blocks. They could be either neighboring houses or close to each other. And this thing, there's this $50,000-$100,000 difference in house price, and you look at it, and one's been remodeled and one's not been, right? So your kitchen has not been redone, and the house next door's kitchen has been redone, and those prices reflect at least what you see on Zillow, right? You don't know exactly what those houses sell for, but at least at face value, what you're seeing on these home selling sites, that's what you see a lot of times. There might be a decrease in price, like, dang, this house is sometimes it'll be depending on the area. And in Maryland, you can see $100K difference. And it's like, oh, they didn't remodel yet. That's why the house costs this much, because you're gonna have to do the remodel, unless you want to live in the 90s, 80s, whatever it is, that they got the stuff in there still from. All right, that huge cost. See, the one reason I don't like doing this website, because my damn mouse. Anyways, still don't have a fixed mouse. That huge total cost does include other major housing costs like tax. Shout out to taxes. It does include total other major housing costs like taxes, origination fees, lender charges, and home insurance. Hey, shout out to the 100%. If you join the military and get 100% PNT, you ain't gotta worry about paying them taxes. You could pump a lot more than $800,000 to your housing over time. Yeah, for millennials, you're gonna spend for most parts of the country, you're going to spend well over $1 million when it comes to just the money you're spending on your house when you add in the maintenance into it. Taxes, shout out to taxes. Welcome to America. Cars will make another big dent in your personal budget. See, cars is where people go out of control. Another big dent relative to their income. Another big dent in your personal balance sheet is cars, squeezing you for around over a quarter $271,000 during your lifetime based on 10 purchases of 6-year-old used cars. Jesus. Lasting around 6 years each. Now that's egregious. Your car should be lasting you double that at least. So it should be lasting you 12 years. You should be able to cut that price in half. Well, leave it like as is. if you're married, right? But nah, that your car should last you more than six. If you get a 6-year-old used car, your car should last longer than 12 years. I got my car in 2017, so my car is going on 7 years. No, no. So remember, I've already said this before. Remember when Corey was talking about? Remember when I was talking about how one of the reasons I tell y'all to wake up, go to work, and come home is because you can't afford the wear and tear that you're putting on your vehicle. That's why you can't be going out to eat, all these different type of things. This is why, because it's talking about your car lasting only 6 years. And it's talking about getting a 6-year-old car, and that car only lasting another 6 years after that, which is only 12 years. Cars now, if you get a 6-year-old car right now, you'll be getting a car that's newer than my car as far as the year that it came out. You'll be getting a 20, no, excuse me, you getting a 2018. Yeah, right. You getting a 2019. The year the cars come out, the year, no, the year. My car is 2018, but I got it in 2017 because that's how the numbers. Regardless, if you get a 2019 car, right? A 2019 car, a car that was made brand new in 2019, should last more than 12 years. I mean, if you do the proper maintenance on it, I mean, this is insanity. That's crazy. So no, this number, yes, 271,000 if you're married, because you're gonna double. I'm gonna cut it in half. I'm gonna double how long the car should last for 6 years. But for married people, it doesn't matter if you do that from a math standpoint. So yeah, for a married couple, yeah, cool. 10 cars that last 6 years. That's 60. That's 60 years, right? So you're driving for 60 years. Start driving at 15, 16, 76. Yeah. So they got you dying, upper 70s right before you get to 80s here, I guess. So yes on how much this would cost, but no for single people. If you want to get a 6-year-old car, used car, cool. That is what it is. But again, definitely make sure you're taking care of your vehicle so they last more than 6 years. Your car should only be lasting 6 years if you buy a double-digit car, and even then, you should be trying to stretch it to 20 years. You should buy when you purchase a vehicle and you're paying cash for these vehicles, whether it's used or new. You need to be making sure these cars get. Well, let me not say years. Let's talk about miles. Everybody's mileage is different. You should do everything you can to make sure these cars get to 200K. I mean, your cars having issues before they even get to 150. No, because some of the major changes don't happen until they get up there near the 100K range. As someone who used to always be behind on their car maintenance and doing their car maintenance in a timely fashion, I could tell you when you do it in a timely fashion. When I say timely, when they tell y'all it needs to be done, assuming you're not getting screwed at the car mechanic, it does not cost that much. Speaking of, I gotta order this daggone filters for my car. So it is not that much, but when you wait to do it, that's when you start having thousands of dollars all at one time because you didn't get your stuff done when they said it needs to get done. You didn't get this fluid change, you didn't get these brakes done, you didn't get your tires rotated, whatever it is. And so now you got to get your oil change, your tires rotated, your brakes done, you gotta get your power steering fluid change, all this type of stuff all at the same time. You don't look up to do some things like I said, I need my air filter, my engine and my cabin air filter change. It's like I think $40 total for both of them. Man, I forgot how much they wanted to charge me at the dealership, but it was like at least $100 for both. Like, and I was like, what? And I'm like, okay, like that's how much it costs. And I'm looking at the guy like, you sure it's gonna be that much? He like, no, you can just do these, buy these offline and look it up on YouTube how to do it. I'm like, all right, bet. I appreciate you telling me that information. Because I was dumbfounded. And this was back during the pandemic. So I had way more money as far as discretionary income than I have now. So I was like, I mean, if that's how much it is, I'll pay it now, but I'll look this up later. But because my car was like not even at probably 20,000, 30,000 miles at the time. But regardless, those are the type of things where when it comes to car maintenance, people don't look up and then they don't take care of the vehicle. Then their vehicle doesn't last as long. So then you're buying a vehicle more frequently. And on top of that, you have to save for your vehicle more frequently if you're going to be paying cash for it, not taking out debt. And so on top of that, now you have less income to be investing over that time period because you got to keep on buying a car every 6 years. That's crazy. When I bought my car, and the intention is for it to go to 250,000 miles. I want to be getting a new car. When I say want to, as far as it not lasting till my son's not college, in high school. He'll be in high school in what, 13 years? He'll be 1 in August, so 14, 15. Yeah, I'm trying to get my car to 20 years for sure. But without question, it's not even at 60,000 miles yet. Regardless, though, again, this is saying that doesn't cover additional costs like gas, car insurance, maintenance, and vehicle registration fees. Yeah, again, shout out to 100% permanent total. You ain't got to worry about the registration for taxes. at least in Maryland, I don't know what every other state is. Again, the military comes with a lot of benefits when you're in, but once you get out, you have access to a lot of stuff if you qualify for it. Yeah, when you start adding in, maintenance is going to be, it might be close to $500,000 in expense on your vehicle when you do add in gas, insurance, and maintenance, and the other registration fees, because easy pass tolls, things like that, speeding tickets if you're getting speeding tickets, right, moving violations. Because when you factor in that type of stuff, like car insurance just keeps going up. You know what I mean? So family milestones. Historically, the phrase American dream has conjured up images of happy children playing in a big backyard with a white picket fence. See, why can't the fence be black? Anyways, I'm just joking when I'm saying that to be an asshole. Well, if you listen to any episode, that is a complete joke. I gotta be careful what I'm saying because more people watching these videos. So I gotta, I don't say be careful, but nobody goes back and watches all the old videos. Well, if that's the path you choose, even if it looks a little different in today's ultra expensive housing market, you ain't getting no fence. You'd be lucky to get a damn yard. Anyways, it's going to cost you a lot. The average cost of a wedding and engagement ring was $35,800 as of 2022, according to the Knot. If you decide to raise a family, that's when things get really expensive. Let's take a significant. See, I thought it was going to be a short episode. Am I almost done? No, I am almost done. But look, they just had to throw in this 30, almost 40 bands for the GOT. Most of that, my guess, is coming on the engagement. Let me see how much. Average engagement ring cost is 6 bands. And that's from the Knot as well, 2022. So the same study. Okay, so let's say 36. So 30 bands for the wedding, which is about right based off of what people have been telling me. We're having like full-blown weddings with it costs, non-destination type weddings. People are already going to do it. This is one of my big recommendations. I'm anti-wedding. Do not spend 30 bands on the wedding unless you have significant other financial accomplishments under your belt. And both of you, by the way, right? Because you're getting married. So no debt besides a mortgage. And if you have a mortgage, I might want to put 30 bands towards a mortgage or do some house renovations, whatever it is. Obviously, no student loans, no car loans. I mean, no debt at all. And on top of that, you got your emergency fund saved, which needs to be larger because you're getting married now. So you might need close to, but you might need 30 bands. Yeah, see, 30 bands is out of control. So about $6K for the ring. The average income of most people in America, at least men. I mean, men make more than women, right? But as far as these average numbers for income standpoint, but 6K, that's going to be too much. Because 6K, if you're talking about a 3-month salary, that's only making $2,000 a month, which is nothing. Don't do the 3-month salary, anyways. I would say no more than 1 month salary. I mean, that'd be like the top cap of it. But spending $36,000 between your wedding and your engagement ring is out of control. Another reason why people are struggling financially, because when you look at the average numbers, most people are getting married with debt, no emergency savings, all those type of things. And so in short, they're getting married into an unstable financial situation, and then they're tacking on more instability when it comes to paying for this wedding at almost the tune of 40 bands. Now, if your in-laws or your parents or your uncle or grandma, whatever it is paying for this wedding, different conversation if you're not spending the money, because you obviously can't force people to give you the money. You have to give tax exemption anyway, which is under that. I mean, double, I think it's 18, 19 bands now. But regardless, if you're not paying for it, one thing. But if you are paying it, definitely don't kick out this much. I would also say too, I always say a lot of people they pay for social media posts, and you can't really take your social media posts with you. I recommend to my wife all the time, like, pay for stuff that you can, quote unquote, when I say use, like on a daily basis. I was like, hey, look, our wedding budget, is 10K tops. Like I'm not spending more than $10,000. You know what I mean? Like that'd be the most I spend, and that includes honeymoon, engagement ring, and the wedding. That includes everything. I'm saying I'm 10K tops. And like, look, you can make a decision. You can rearrange that 10K and put it more towards your ring if you want to, more towards the wedding, or more towards the honeymoon, right? You can do that. My wife, she axed the honeymoon off completely. We'll do a honeymoon one day, but I'm talking about in that moment in time, meaning almost 2 years ago now. The honeymoon gone off the table. And she said, bump over to my ring. Boom. No issue with me. 10K is 10K. A lot of people don't look at it like that. That's how I see it. If I'm gonna spend $10,000, it's $10,000. How do you want to spend it? Is that simple? Because 10K for a wedding and engagement ring and a honeymoon is nothing. As you see, this is barely almost a fourth of what they're saying it is here. It's nothing. And she spent most of that on she spent most of that on a ring, not most of it, but she said, yeah, I just want to do the honeymoon. This is the ring I want. I'm like, all right, well, this is what the wedding's gonna look like. And she's like, okay. I was like, so we had it in my church, no cost there, and then we had our apartment. We had the reception at our apartment complex we used to live in, no cost there, even though they were supposed to charge us, but they didn't charge us because they weren't charging anybody at the time to rent that place. I mean, we still had to pay rent, but that we always pay. And then I think my parents paid for the food and I paid for the photographer. That was it. So yeah, don't do that. If you decide to raise a family, that's when things get really expensive. No, they don't get. I mean, yes, if you want to talk about having the wedding before you have kids, please have the wedding before you have kids. I mean, traditional views. Anyways, yes, you get married, then you have kids. After that makes sense when things start to get expensive. But again, family planning. It is well known how much it costs. I've already said this before. I already looked up. Now I see why y'all like the numbers. I mean, you like the episodes on saying how much it costs to live here. Because a lot of people just be acting crazy. I already looked up how much it costs for, on average, healthcare for a family of 4. It's $24,000 a year. It's $2,000 a month for health insurance. Come on, y'all. I mean, these are things that you got to look up. Now, different jobs have different costs, right? For me, my health insurance, if I had my wife, she has healthcare through the VA, but if I had her and then another child, because my son is 113, my insurance is free, so if we just double that, it's 260. Then my wife would be 250. So it'd be 1,000. It'd be half of that. It's in short. For me, if I would have my wife, and we don't have another kid, but if we had another kid, so made it a family of 4. But that's the other thing too. People are not financially doing the proper family planning. Now, you could say people are doing the proper planning and they'd be like, I'm just not having kids at all. But no, that's just the escape route, because people don't want to put in the work for the life that they want. And then they don't have the life they have. Then they go on social media and you see all these breakdowns. And yes, I did not forget about taking out of context. Oh, I got it. I'm gonna make sure real quick. The one video where lady was tripping. I'm supposed to have jury duty today, y'all, starting this week. Then I don't. So I'm going to work today. I didn't plan on going to work today because I thought I was having jury duty. They said, you're not coming in today. We'll just let you know when to come in. Just keep calling after 5. And then every day I'm like, what? How? That's inconvenient for my life. Let me see, y'all. Oh yeah, I gotta find that video because Shorty was tripping. My bad. Yo, I'm gonna find that later. I think we'll be able to find that later. Oh no, I remember her name. There we go, Brian Spencer. Boom, got it. All right, because some of the stuff that the amount of people, it's mainly women, but the amount of people who are getting here on social media and literally having emotional breakdowns in relation to their lack of financial stability or being at where they want to be at in life, and then admitting that the other people in life, their other friends, have what they have as far as relationally, but don't have what they have on the personal side from a career success standpoint. It's like, look, only one thing can be the primary. What do you want to be the primary? And it's getting crazy out here. And that's the lack of family planning. You get to that point where you start realizing what was actually more important. At least these people when they get on the internet. And not saying important for everybody. When these people get on the internet, here we go. A hospital birth for 2 children will cost around $5,700. That's not that much for 2 kids. Considering the fact, kind of plan having a kid and you have, 9 months to save up for that cost. So what is that? 5,700 divided by 9. What is that? $630 a month to save. I mean, again, you got your car payments, your student loans, your credit card payments. I see why it's that much. It doesn't cost that much if you don't have all this damn debt. If you're enrolled in a large, or again, join the military, get VA benefits, you get 100% free birth. Anyways, if you're enrolled in a large group insurance plan, raising those 2 children until the age of 18, yes, costs over half. Yes, it costs a whole bunch of money to raise these daggone kids. That has nothing to do with college tuition. Then, all right, here we go. Both want to go to college. Average cost of sending kids to college for 1 year is about $42,000, including tuition, room and board. This is for a state college. Again, remove the room and board. We already did this on the live stream for the student loan episode. Get rid of the room and board, and that cost is cut. Is a quarter of that cost. So it's roughly around $10,000 or so for tuition alone. We're talking about in-state. So, you go to the closest state school, depending on the state you live in, that probably varies. But in Maryland, there are plenty of great schools, and they're pretty much where everybody lives. If you live in the Baltimore County area, you can go to Towson, or you can go to UMBC. Or if you live, down here where I live at, you can go to University of Maryland. If you live across the Bay Bridge, you can go to Salisbury, or you can go, if you want to go to HBCU, you can go to University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. If you want to go to Bowie, you can go to Bowie, you can go to Compton, you can go to Morgan, right? There are a whole bunch of schools in Maryland that you can go to as state schools. And you can also too go to community college for the first 2 years and transfer over to the 4-year. It's all the same thing as far as your degree. Let's look at your 4-year degree, and you can cut those costs down even lower. All right. Yeah, see, 1 year, 42 bands. See, and then if it takes 4 years to get your degree, 40,000 times 4 is 160,000. Like, none of the bachelor degrees are worth $40,000 a year. Like none. Even a master's, you start getting over 100K total. I don't know, I'm my room board here and tuition, but you start getting over 100K, man. No. All right. On top of, I'm not gonna talk about student loans, so then this episode is gonna be longer than I can afford it to be. On top of all that, sits your biggest overlying cost, health insurance. What did I say? Health insurance. Using data from Peterson KFF Investopedia, worked the average family premium cost over 39 years, 25 to 65, to be just shy of $1 million. Yep, at $934,752, which is almost 1/3 of the lifetime earnings you need to live the American dream. Again, necessitates that payments, investment, lifestyle. However, here on the Quarter Flip That podcast, we discuss health and wealth, finances, and fitness. Okay, so when we talk about the health and fitness side of things, yes, that is no joke. Your health is your wealth, and a lot of people, especially in America, heart disease is undefeated in America. People don't take care of their health, and that's why you have these astronomical healthcare costs. Caleb Silver, editor-in-chief in Investopedia, told Daily Mail, while everyone's idea that the so-called American dream is unique, the rising cost of everything a family might reasonably want and need to afford, like health insurance, owning a vehicle, buying a home, raising children, sending them to college, continues to put that dream further out of reach for most households. Decrease your debt, stop going on vacation so early in your lifetime, and you'll probably have more money / runway to achieve, this health insurance type of things, buying a vehicle, things of that nature, because you're losing all this compound interest that the money you spent in your 20s. Like I said, you spend all this money for social media posts, and then they actually don't get you anything because you're not one of these people that make money on the internet. And so this just lost money. It's just lost money. All your likes and stuff. Like, what did those do for you? Right? I mean, should just went to Ocean City because apparently Ocean City is one of like the best beaches or the best beach. I don't know what it is. There was something crazy. Everybody when that happened was like, man, what? Hey, shout out to my high school. Rundle High School, they made the news, had a crazy music video shot there. Anyways, it looked like it was my room, but it's not a different hall. Regardless, living out your golden years, we're talking about retirement, will likely be the third largest expense in your lifetime, according to Investopedia. If you plan to live up to 80% of your pre-retirement annual income, as some personal finance advisors recommend, you're going to need at least $715,000 saved to live 12 years of retirement. That's only 12 years after you, without any money woes. That number is way higher than that for millennials, significantly, even more for Gen Z. If you plan to enjoy a longer retirement, have a plan ahead for that and ensure you have enough money saved and invested in traditional and alternative assets to build a sustainable nest egg. Again, that's $715,000 for 12 years. You are not having a mortgage. And remember, the healthcare cost that we talked about goes up even more in retirement because, again, you're not getting it through your employer because you're retired by definition. All right. When planning your financial future, and by the way, if you want to watch so many old people still work because they want to pay their goddamn healthcare insurance. When planning your financial future, consider using tax-friendly investment vehicles like a 401k account, or an IRA. These accounts will allow you to grow your wealth and put your money to work, giving you needed cash flow. All right, that's it, y'all. Locked and loaded. Again, the American dream will now cost you a staggering 3.4 million. New study says here's why that white picket fence may now be out of reach for most families. Again, by Bethine Moorcraft, December 21st, 2023. All right, again, y'all. I said it. Necessities, debt payments, investments, lifestyle. You got to get on a budget when it comes to this family planning type things. You really got to plan out. Spending $36,000 between the engagement ring and the wedding. I mean, these are all things that people need to think about before they spend this money, because when you spend that money and it actually doesn't go towards building your future, and then you get mad when you have no future built, when you get to the future and it's now your present, or then eventually time even goes on past that and it's not your past, and you look at all of these past decisions and you have no compound interest because you didn't do anything to put yourself in a better position. That's on you. That is the conversation that people do not want to have, right? Poor choice when it comes to college. Then the community college route to a 4 year. You did the room and board and not just tuition. So you didn't stay home. You lived on campus. You lived on apartments on campus. You got a degree that's not going to make you money to create the lifestyle that you want to have. All these different type of things. And you marry somebody who's in the roughly same situation, then you have all this financial instability, and then you spend all this money on the wedding. You have all this debt, all these payments, and then you're like, okay, now we're gonna have kids, and now you just keep adding expenses in order to put yourself in a stable position from a financial standpoint. And you just lock in for a handful of years. It's gonna be easier in your 20s than it is in your 30s. Easier in your 30s than it is in your 40s. When you get to your 40s, you still got to make these sacrifices. I'd be damned, because now your kids are going to be older. Your relationships are going to be further along. Everybody's going to be doing roughly the same amount of things, right? In life, you got more birthday parties to go to, all these different type of stressors, the messy middle, as the money guys call it. And it's going to get hard as hell out here. And if you just sacrifice for a couple years in your 20s, you wouldn't have to worry about it. If you made better decisions in your 20s, you wouldn't have to worry about it. But y'all don't want to do that. Now you're like me, you're in your 30s. I'm not in this situation, but I'm saying now in your 30s, I'm like, dang, your 20s is gone and it go by fast, real quick. And I'd be clear, don't let your 30s go by fast too. When you get to 40s, when I say when I'm over here in my 40s and y'all still complaining, I don't know what y'all want me to say. All right, that's it, y'all. Locked and loaded. Remember to comment, like, share, subscribe. Shout out to the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you leave the rating reviews on the podcast platforms as well. My information, as well as my coach Jordan information, can be found in the description on YouTube. All right, Jordan Stop Stalling J on socials. FinallyFit.live, where you can sign up for the 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Monday and Wednesday virtual training sessions. I'm Silent_Corey on socials for the financial information. All right. Again, we appreciate y'all leaving the comments, running up the numbers. We're going to continue to give y'all the feedback that y'all want and cover the articles that y'all want. All right. Remember to save more and say less. Wait. All right, y'all. End of the episode, locked and loaded. There we go. Remember to save more and say less. Keep making better your best. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.